Why it's important that I know that I'm not a mistake. Um, well, like in the world, you have a lot of people that are real into positive thinking and whatever you can visualize, you can actualize, and all that stuff. But in the kingdom, I think we have a different dimension that gets added to that. Like I'm a firm believer in that. I'm a prince. I am a child of God, and the Lord has invested in me a tremendous amount of power, especially with the words that I speak over my life. And a lot of that has to do with the worldview or the way that I see the world. That's why God always talks about how I need to constantly be renewing my mind. Because if my thoughts get off track of His thoughts, I start dwelling on the enemy's plan. And if I start dwelling on the enemy's plan, a lot of the times I will ensure that plan gets fulfilled in my life. And as I spend my time meditating on the Word and meditating on what God thinks about me and His view of my life, I spend more time focusing on bringing about His plan on earth. And so if I go around my whole life thinking that I'm a mistake, it kind of becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. I will start, in a weird way, being thankful of all the different ways that I'm proved right. Someone cheats me out of something, and then I respond, "Well, I knew it. I knew that they were going to mess me over and all this stuff." And we actually get kind of excited when our worst fears are proved true. And so when God comes along and says, you're not a mistake, I've got plans for you. These are the thoughts that I have towards you. That verse that talks about the sum of God's thoughts towards me outnumber the sand on the shore. When I realize who God is and the way He sees me and the way He values me, it changes my worldview and it changes my paradigm. And so then I go about recognizing what God's doing on earth, and I have the ability to partner with it, as opposed to God trying to influence me and convince me to come along, like a kid's trying to drag a puppy that doesn't want to go for a walk. Instead, it flips it around. And we are co-heirs with Christ, and I find myself moving at the same speed in my life that God's moving.